other words, the elders are your friends. You could bounce things off of them, and they'll determine if it should come to the rabbi. They're your friends. Okay? They've been ordained and anointed and sanctified to minister to you in this situation, to make sure that this thing doesn't ripple out of control. But when it's swept under the rug, or issues or unclean behaviors are swept under the rug for 6 months, it's already rippling out of control. Does anyone understand what I'm sharing?
Yes.
We want to be like Ted, looking for solutions. There are 4 people in this congregation that have been ordained to bring victory and solution. It may sound smug and it may sound self-righteous, but trust me, it's divine government. It is not self-righteousness. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. And they're here to protect you before these things ripple out of control. Okay, Yehoshua 7 and verse 20. Achan answered Yehoshua and said, truly I have sinned against Yahweh Elohim of Israel, and this is what I did. Here's the confession. When I saw among the spoil a lovely garment from Shinar, Babylon, 200 shekels of silver, a wedge of gold weighing 50 shekels, I coveted them and took them. See, they are hidden in the ground in the midst of my tent. Circle those words, in the midst of my. Weren't we reading about the holiness of the tabernacle today with Roberto? In the midst of the cleanliness of the tabernacle of Yahweh. In the midst of my tent, Achan said, I put it under, in the midst of my tent with the silver under it. Yehoshua sent messengers and they ran to the tent. See, it was hidden in his tent. Circle that word, hidden. And the silver under it. And they took them from the midst of the tent, brought them to Yehoshua and all the children of Israel, and laid them out before Yahweh. Then Yehoshua and all Israel with him took Achan, son of Zerah, and the silver, the garment, the wedge of gold, his sons, his daughters. Hello, ripple effect. Did the hiding of uncleanness in the camp, those who helped Achan, were they his friend? No. Did it save Achan's children? No. It also made them victims. So in other words, we're not going to tell the elders about the stealing or the gossip or slander or fornication or some kind of ongoing unclean situation because we don't want to get them in trouble. Understand one thing. You're taking the unclean things, you're hiding it in the tents of Israel, you're hiding it in the camp, and not only are you not being a friend to those people involved in that behavior, you're causing their behavior to ripple to their families and to all the other members in the Commonwealth of Israel. Because you think you know better than Yahweh. That's our friend. We don't want to get our friend in trouble. Am I just preaching to myself here?
No.
We don't want to get our friend in trouble. And so we sit on a matter. We take a small matter and make it into a huge matter. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Anyway. And the wedge, the gold, his sons, his daughters, his oxen, his donkeys, his sheep, his tent, all they had, verse 24, and they brought them to the Valley of Achor. What does Achor mean in Hebrew? Tribulation. You want to bring tribulation? Hide. Don't report what's happening in the camp. Keep quiet. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. You don't want to get anybody in trouble. Don't say anything. Keep it quiet. And don't bring it to the elders. Don't bring it to Roberto. And don't bring it to Tehillah. You're hiding it in the camp. And you are bringing the entire camp into the Valley of Achor. Now all of us are in the Valley of Tribulation. And by the time the rabbi gets it, it's not a small matter. Because the elders say, whoa, this is out of control. This has got to go to the rabbi, and boom, the rabbi comes down and smacks everybody hard with discipline, and he's mean, the elders are mean, and you come to believe you were the only one that was being loving, but you couldn't hide it any longer. If you know there's ongoing unrighteousness in the camp, you cannot hide it for a week, let alone months. Valley of Achor. And brothers and sisters, what was Achan's sin? He brought the entire assembly of Israel into the valley of judgment, tribulation, and decision. Achor in Hebrew is tribulation. It is written of Ephraim, Israel, in the redemption, in the messianic redemption, when Yeshua returns, non-Jewish Israel or non-Jewish believers or those who are from the 10 tribes of Israel will be singing a new song to Yahweh Elohim in the Valley of Achor or during the Great Tribulation. So the Valley of Achor means the Valley of Tribulation. So by not revealing an uncleanliness, by keeping it submerged and not bringing it to the elders that Yahweh has appointed over 50s, hundreds, and thousands, you're taking the entire assembly to be judged in the Valley of Achor. That was the sin of Achan. He took a small issue that he could have resolved with Yahweh personally and made it Joshua's business. Y'all not hearing me? See, everything that goes on in this congregation doesn't have to be the rabbi's business. How's that for a shock? Especially if I want to pick up golf at some point. Amen? It doesn't have to be the rabbi. I am not Superman, Superboy, or underdog. How many know Rabbi Moshe is not underdog? Or courageous cat. Ant. Remember courageous cat? And the frog? Remember the frog, the mean criminal? I'm not courageous cat, Mighty Mouse, Mickey Mouse, or any other mouse. Hello? There's stuff y'all making my business that don't need to be my business. But you decided you were going to choose your own counselor. You were going to choose your own confidant. You were going to reach out to somebody. Anybody will do. Sorry. That is worldly, not kingdom thinking. I believe, now I'm going to try, I don't want to get myself in trouble here. I believe it's the book of Romans that says in Romans 12, it says, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is the good, acceptable, yea, the perfect will of Yahweh. If I'm not mistaken, that could be in Romans 12, 1 and 2. Could be. Thank you. In the world, protect your friends. Protect them. Don't, oh man, come on, we can work this thing out. And here's the shock. Yahweh has said that you cannot choose your own counselor. You cannot choose your own confidant because they have not been ordained and set apart and sanctified by Yahweh for the ministry of healing. Don't you understand? Yahweh loves his people. Do you understand? But do you also understand that, like it or not, he will flow through the ordination process? So that in the world, I ordain you're a bishop, first doctor, reverend, holy moon, but when Yahweh ordains, he's setting up a channel of healing. Does Rabbi Moshe believe in channeling? Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe it, but not the channeling of the New Age groupies. I don't believe in channeling, talking to rocks and talking to dust and expecting the rocks to jump up off the table and brush your teeth. I don't believe, but I believe in channeling. What kind of channeling? Your matter is a non-matter. You make it an issue, it becomes a small issue. And then, I wouldn't want to be the Shamashim because they've got a big burden on their shoulder. They got to decide, do we render mishpat, immediate judgment, and let the Talmidim abide by that judgment, or do we bring this to the rabbi? They've got a major decision also. But you're making their decision easier by getting them the facts, not by submerging and hiding the facts. Are we on? So the way most churches and most congregations function, the elders find out 5 months later, and the pastor finds out 9 months later. And in the meantime, these things that are going on in the congregation are just rippling on through. Children are affected, daughters are affected, brothers are affected, mothers are affected. And Yahweh says, come here, Camp. Come here, we're going to take a vacation in the Valley of Achor. Excuse me, Father, in heaven. I can think of some better places that we can take vacations. rather than the valley of tribulation. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. I look at verse 25. Yehoshua said, "Why have you troubled us, Achan?" What is the English word for pain? Aching. I'm aching. Yeah, it comes from Hebrew. Aching. Oi, I'm aching. And Yehoshua said, "Why have you troubled us? Yahweh does trouble you today, Achan, Achan." Then all Israel stoned him with stones and burned them with fire after they had stoned them with stones. What do you mean burn them? I don't understand. Burn them? Oh, there are victims of unclean behavior. It's not just that person doing the unclean behavior. You cannot live ungodly if you don't love yourself. Love the people around you enough. Love the other people around you that don't have to answer and cover up for you and protect you and do you worse harm. I'm bringing you the solution, brothers and sisters. The solution to if you really love that person or those persons that are involved in unclean behaviors, the best thing you could do is run to Roberto. Not walk, not pick up the phone, run. You may not like them. It has nothing to do with who you like. They are the ordained channel which Yahweh has promised to bring healing and victory and keep you out of the Valley of Achor. I'd rather not like Roberto and Tehillah, but go to the channel of healing that's been ordained for me than to wind up and bring my whole family and all my mishpacha and all my brothers and sisters into the Valley of Achor. You really love them? Then you won't want to keep them away from the elders. You want to keep them away from the Valley of Achor. I know I'm preaching good today. I'm dialed in. I'm sorry. I'm dialed in. You just know it. I mean, there are days I'm off, and today, you know, it's dialed in. All the kavod. And they raised, look at verse 26. They raised over him a great heap of stones, which remain to this day. Then Yahweh turned from the fierceness of his displeasure. Therefore, the name of the place of the hiding that sin is called the Valley of Achor, even to this day. Listen, hiding on, I have so much to cover. Hiding unrighteousness under the tent results in all Israel being judged through the ripple effect. Small matters must be declared. Listen, write this down. Not hidden. Are there small matters that are starting to come up? Hello? The quicker you can declare a small matter, the more you can guarantee it doesn't become a rippling effect or a major matter where a whole bunch of our brothers and sisters wind up in the Valley of Achor. So the trick is not how can we keep this from the rabbi. Shh, listen. The trick is how quick can we get it to the elders. The quicker we can get this stuff to the elders, the quicker we can protect our brothers and sisters and their mishpachas and their loved ones. Do you understand what I'm saying? Instead of having this problem go on for 9 months, it can be cleaned up in 9 days. So the world says, cover up. You know, most politicians don't get in trouble because of the crime. Did you know that? We all know they're crooks anyway. I'm glad there's no politicians here. It's common knowledge that politicians are crooks. When does Nixon get in trouble? When do politicians get in trouble? In the cover-up stage. And those of you who in the past have kept things from the elders and leaders in this congregation have been part of the cover-up, I pray healing upon you. I don't pray guilt and condemnation. I pray realization and victory to change your behavior, to protect the brothers and sisters who are in these problematic situations in the future. I am teaching you and showing you by Yahweh's strength and Yahweh's grace how to administer not only healing, but true permanent love. Now I want to talk to the elders a little bit. We're talking about major issues. Major issues, if you're taking notes. Is anyone enjoying?
Yeah.
Usually that side of the room is full, and this side is empty. Today, this side is full, and that side is comme ci, comme ça. So I'm glad that you guys keep me off guard, which is good. I don't trust in man, so I just keep going, 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 going. Only the Shamashim, the elders, can bring major issues to the rabbi. Listen carefully. As a Talmud, where does your authority end? Over non-issues. Listen, children of Yahweh, do you have authority over small issues? No. Where does the authority in the congregation lie when it comes to small issues? With the elders. But the major issues, listen, if an individual feels there is a major problem or a major issue brewing in the camp, listen, have we ever encountered major problems in the camp? Has anybody been here for any length of time and not encountered a major problem? What is a major problem? Someone doesn't speak to anybody else for 9 months. Shouldn't get that far. Someone's using cocaine for 8 months. We don't know about it. Why? Because it's being hidden in the tent. It's being hidden in the camp. We don't want to get the person in trouble. So when there's a major issue, someone is destroying their life, inflicting damage to themselves or to others. Amen? And there's a major issue brewing in the camp. Individual believers, Talmidim, as we said before, must allow the elders to determine if a matter is major. Even, this is what I'm trying to say. I know I'm not saying it well, but I'm saying it anyway. If you think an issue, listen, is a major matter, let's say you come across something in the congregation, right? And you think an issue is a major matter. What did I say? Major matter. You should not, I'm not saying you cannot, but if you want to get healing and do this thing right, you should not go to the rabbi. Because it is not your role to decide if the issue is a small or a large matter. Whose authority is that? You say, well, I just know. How do you know? I've been in the church 50 years. I just know. I know that this is a major issue. And it may be a very, very what? Minor issue. Who's going to judge if it's a major issue to be brought to the rabbi? The Shamashim. Who has the authority to judge between small matters and larger matters?
Elders.
Only the elders. So the attitude, the rabbi should know that, or the attitude, the rabbi should understand that, or the attitude that the rabbi should know all these things, that's his responsibility, is not accurate. I'll say that again. Is not accurate. Neither should the Shamashim know all these things. It is up to you. Don't you love it? The people that complain that the shepherds don't know their sheep are some of the same people who won't bring it to the attention of the elders. Why am I stepping on toes today? And I can care less. Some of the people that are complaining that the leaders do not know their sheep enough will not bring matters to the elders so they can get to know the sheep.
They can't now.
I'm sorry?
They can't now.
What does that mean?
This is just being implemented.
Well, it's Torah. Yeah, it's Torah. We're learning the proper procedure. It's Torah. But if you withhold anybody, generic you, withhold things from the elders, it's obviously going to be withheld from the rabbi, because here's the shocking thing. It is not a Talmud or Talmidas, they're under their discretion to just jump and pull. Rabbi, can I talk to you? Well, you can. I don't want to be a mean guy. I don't want to be, I don't want to be what is that word, ogre? I don't want to be an ogre who's odious. Does that sound right? Odious ogre? Thank you. Leave me alone. I don't want to be an odious ogre. Yeah, you can pull me aside. Yeah, you can get my attention. Yeah, that's true. You're not going to get arrested. It's not a crime. But you're not channeling. I want you to learn how to channel. But I want you to learn how to channel the way Yahweh has ordained for the healing to flow. I know this sounds crazy. Why did the woman with the issue of blood touch Yeshua's tzitzit? Why didn't he touch his head? She touched his head. Why? If there's no channeling of healing, if there's no proper order, then the woman with the issue of blood for 12 years who was healed nothing and spent all her money on physicians, why couldn't she touch the master's beard? Or zakan in Hebrew. Isn't that interesting? The Hebrew word for elder is zaken or shamish, and the Hebrew word for beard is zakan. Why couldn't she touch the beard? Because that was not the way Yahweh was channeling his virtue. Are we on? Are we on, or do you need to get the tape to get all to try to chew on all this? And I'm going to sell you the tape, so this is free. Check it out. This is the free part. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. So in other words, and that's what blows our mind. Can we pull the rabbi aside? Yes. Should we first go to the elders? Not only go to the elders, right away. And their responsibility is not to wait a month and get back to you. They've got to give you an immediate or almost, I don't care if Roberto's working, pull them off a plane. You too, Beltrami, don't get involved. That's right, brother. That's right. He's good. Hey, man, we are servants.
He's known to go.
We are servants. Okay? Get in touch with them. By going, and this is going to blow your mind, by going right to the rabbi, you may not get the healing and the verdict and the mishpat that you're looking for, because you're bypassing the channel of healing. Now, in the natural, what do you mean? The rabbi has the authority. The rabbi has the understanding. He's got the right resume. He's got the experience. Yeah. That's all true in the natural. But this is not a natural kingdom. It's a supernatural. Yahweh will heal you and honor you for going to the Shamashim first, and they've got a big responsibility, because now they've got to decide. Do we bother? Do we bring this to the rabbi and the rebbetzin, or do we handle this on our own? Because they have the authority to handle it on their own, and heaven has to be bound by their judgment. Do you understand how Yahweh honors them? If Yahweh honors their judgment, who are you to bypass them? What I'm trying to show you is things cannot be submerged in the sin of Achan, because if you're Achan, we're Achan. All right? If you're bringing Achan into the unclean things hidden in the camp because you love a person and no one wants to see a loved one. No one wants to see a loved one get in trouble. But that's not the road. If things are done decently and in order, the elders and the rabbi should never overstep their bounds. Should never overstep their bounds. And usually, if something can be handled, the shamashim, the elders, will handle it. So you don't have to worry about, well, what's the rabbi going to do? You don't have to worry about that. If you follow, most of the cases, I shouldn't get. Make sense? Most of the cases should never get to me, because they're not major. Meaning there are very few major cases. Hello? Someone's coming to service is high. Okay? Let's take an example. Okay? Is that a minor issue, a non-issue, or a major issue? Someone's coming here week after week and they are toked up. Is that the right word, toked? All right? Now what do we do? Do we pull the rabbi? Do we go to the shamashim? It's a minor issue, but it can pretty quickly develop into a major issue. But it's not up to me to decide, oh, this is my chance to get that person. Oh, this is my chance to get him in trouble. I'm going right to the rabbi. No. Let the shamashim decide if it's a small or a major issue. Tov? So the decision, here's the shocker, listen. The decision is not yours to make, Talmidim, if an issue is a minor or a major. Now that completely disarms us. Now here's what I'm telling you. that you and I don't have the authority, well, let me change that, okay? Talmidim don't have the authority to decide what is and is not a major or a minor matter. So now the worldly mind says, well, who do they think they are? I can't think for myself? God didn't give me a brain? I know sin when I see it. I don't need no elder to tell me that, oh, y'all tell me that. I'm not blind. I'm not stupid. See, that's the way we react, see? Hello? Here's the kingdom of Yahweh. Ready for the kingdom of Yahweh? You don't have the right to decide between minor and major matters. Your right ends when it comes to what? Non-issues. You have the right over non-issues. See, in this way, we all know our place. Amen? This way, the teachers aren't studenting. The students aren't teaching. The healers aren't deviling. The devils aren't doing the healing. Oh, wow, this is real confusing. Right? Everybody is healing. Everybody is flowing. And we all benefit by the unclean being kept not under our tents, but taken out of the camp. Listen, it is the uncleanness that belongs in the Valley of Achor, not the people of Yahweh.
Amen.
Yes.
I'll say it again. It is the uncleanness that belongs in the Valley of Achor, not the people of Yahweh. We are the head, not the tail. We are the conquerors, not the overcome. We are the victors, and not those who have been succumbed. Or who succumbed. The rabbi should not have to decide. Listen. If an issue is a minor or a major matter. By the time the rabbi gets it, it should be classified, Roberto and Tehila, by the time the rabbi gets it, it should be classified as major. You guys know, you're mature, you've got the discernment, you should know what is major and what is not major. By the time it comes to me, the two of you have already decided that it is a major issue. Well, no, there could be other serious things. There could be things that are brewing, things that need my intervention. Okay. All major matters deemed such by the Shamashim must be brought to the rabbi. Listen, Shamashim elders cannot render sentence on a major matter. Where we meet, what time we meet, what time the service is, the setup of the sanctuary, who has the keys to the building. These are all important issues that I have to decide. So the Shamashim cannot rule on major matters. Never should rule or attempt to rule or presume to rule on major matters. Tov? That's the job of the... So really the Shamashim have the toughest job. The people come to them and they go to the rabbi and they need the most discernment because they're like Jack in the Box, caught in the middle. Right? You're kind of caught in the middle. See? Baruch Hashem Yahweh. As I mentioned earlier, and I'll just repeat this because it's important. How many are enjoying? How many are learning? Okay, we're learning. We've made some mistakes in the past. Like our sister said. We've made some mistakes in the past. We all have. And it's not that we don't want to be involved. We all want to do the right thing, right? Every one of us wants to do the right. Who wants to hurt another person or another brother or sister who's blood washed in Yeshua, right? We all want to do the right thing. If the elders and the rabbi, just to reiterate, discover an event or a situation that's been brewing, what's this message? When trouble brews. If we discover an event 2, 3, 4 months down the road, and everybody in the assembly already knows what's going on, then the assembly is not following ordained divine order. And let me make a statement. The elders should, and eventually the rabbi, should never be the last to know a problem. They should be the first to know a problem. Not by reading minds and mental telepathy and knowing their sheep. It is your job, brothers and sisters, to come to us. but not to pull the rabbi aside while he's on the way to the bathroom. Rabbi, come here, please, quickly. I only need 1 minute. No. Now, say to yourself, is this a non-issue that I'm going to make into a minor issue? Or is this a minor issue that I should be bringing to the elders and let them decide if it should be taken to the rabbi? And don't get the wrong impression. I love talking to you and I love fellowshipping, but there is a healing virtue and the channel for healing to flow. Make sense? Baruch Hashem Yahweh. As a general rule of thumb, the elders and the rabbi should always be the first to know, never the last to know. If everybody knows and the elders eventually find out, we've got major problems in the camp, we're Achan, and we're candidates for a vacation in the Valley of Achor.
Good.
Amen? You don't want to do any time sharing in the Valley of Achor, trust me. All right? You don't want to share time or space. But Yahweh says if we're determined to protect our friend and hide the sin and not worry about the ripple effect, now that we know to do good, the word of what Yahweh says to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. It is our duty as individual believers to follow the duly ordained leader. So that thing in Exodus, Shemot 18, is not just a nice chapter, is it? You missed it. I'm going to close with this because some of you can't take more than 3 hours of preaching. But we got the Titanic and we got the Lion King on DVD.
Oh, brother, where are they?
And we can listen to Tommy James and the Shondells for 4 hours. And Ricky Martin, you know, all day. Now, go back. I want to show you something. Shemot, where we were before, 18. Shemot, 18. If we follow this injunction from Yahweh, this entire message has been a divine injunction for the people of Yahweh. Then here's what's going to happen. Did you hear that in the back?
No. Not enough. Say it again.
Then here's what's going to happen. Verse 23. If you do this word, that realize there are rulers of 50 and 100 and 1,000 in Israel, with authority, not just figureheads, with authority, Elohim will command you and you will be able to stand, and all the people of Israel will go to their homes and places of worship and places of business, and in their comings and in their goings they will go to their places in Shalom. If we do this word. Take it. If we do, I told you to pick on you today. If we do this word, we go home in Shalom. I'm not carrying a burden. That should be the elders. What the heck do I need it for? I'm barely sleeping now as it is. Give it to the elders. Let them deal with it. I'm not leaving the congregation. I'm going to get upset. Let them deal with it. Then the elders say, no, I'm not going to lose any more sleep over this. Let the rabbi deal with it. That's nice. Everybody goes to their home in Shalom. Amen? Please, brothers and sisters, make sure that the leadership is not the last to know. And don't pick your counselors. Don't pick your healers. Don't pick your deliverers. That is religion. Religious people get in trouble. Religious people don't know Yahweh and trip over their own misgivings and misunderstandings and misfortunes. I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about victory. A life where we come and we go and we live and we rise and we walk and we sleep in shalom. That is the greatest gift. People give their millions, give their houses, give their mansions, give their sex drives. They give it all up for an ounce, a dose of shalom. And Yahweh says, if you're part of the believing community of Israel, I'll give you shalom, not only I'll give it to you, you'll take it with you. Yeshua said, my peace I give you, not as the world gives it out, but I give it unto you. For in the world you will have the Valley of Achor, but in me you will have shalom. Fear not, Whwn 16:33, I have overcome the world. And what happens if the rabbi can't? He's got this major Torres problem on his desk. And what happens if the rabbi hits a dead end? No problem. I got me an older brother. Yeah, got me an older brother. Yeah, got me an older brother. His name is Yeshua. Oh. I got me an older brother. I got me an older brother. I got me older brother. His name is Yeshua.
Hallelujah.
Go ahead and give a clap offering in the house of Yahweh today. I'm tired of dead preachers preaching dead sermons to dead congregations.